Hi everyone and welcome back to some Path of Exile. So, it has happened, it has happened. I hope you have enjoyed this little intro. It's time to switch to a witch, right? So, the poor Ice Project character, our assassin, he is pretty naked right now, I'm afraid. Yeah, he doesn't have any gear, nothing there for him. Poor guy. But hey, he did what he had to do. He showed me that I really want to go back to a witch. There she is. Ah, yeah. I just love leveling witches. Honestly, that's the first class I leveled up, and it's the one I love the most since then. And yeah, we switched some stuff around. We are using 4 golems here to buff us, right? And that means we did switch up our ascendancy according to that. So we did go for Leash of the Primordial, into Elemancer, into Mastermind of Discord for the exposure, which is very, very nice, since Frostbomb is now a minus 15%. So that nerf did hit us a little bit. But with this we can get it a little bit back to where it was, right? And for our 4th lab, we probably just take Bastion of Elements to get immune to LE Reflect maps, which is nice. Other than that, it's basically a witch tree that goes for crit. I can't describe it in any other way. We did invest into some power charge stuff here. We will also take this one over there. But yeah, currently level 79. I would like to get to 92. This is as far as I have planned. I will need to get a couple of upgrades on the way. The 6 link and most of the gear we took over from our assassin. I crafted these boots just with an essence, and I was like, okay, that's fair enough for now. Same goes for the gloves. It got really lucky with a lightning essence, and we also got 80 max life, so that was pretty decent. And I was like, okay, let's go, right? Took over the amulet, the rings from the other character. We are using a staff now, no longer do we use dual wands. And yeah, I'm thinking about the power charge on crit support. That is something I have added lately, because the good thing about the assassin was that we were able to actually generate power charges on the go without the problem. With the witch, this is a little bit harder. Since we have this node, it's an 8% chance, right? But that's not enough for us. We want to have these guys up as much as we can. The good thing about the ascendancy and stuff is, as long as we have our golems around us, we are immune to shock, freeze, chill, ignite, which is absolutely incredible, right? The only thing I would like to get is some sort of stun immunity. Unwavering stance is a bit too much far off the way. The other things we had to deal with is strength and dex. We basically need that on our gear. Almost any gear piece has either strength or dex or both crafted on them, right? So that is a bit of a problem, but it was not too difficult actually to achieve. We use 1 first snow, that is our only unique jewel so far. Other than that, we are just looking for basic crit jewels. I need to switch this one out. This was like one I found during leveling. I did level this build in Solo Self-Found, migrated it over here into the normal Ultimatum League. Why did I level it in a Solo Self-Found, you might ask? I just wanted to see how good this would do at League start compared to the Assassin. And I have to say, it feels tankier. In the early stages, it lacks a little bit in the damage department, because you don't generate power charges that much. Other than that, it felt amazing, honestly, and I'm pretty glad how this turned out. I will have a path of building once I do reach level 92, where you have like 4 different trees in there, basically what I did until I reach every single lab. And yeah, so there's not much else to do than just take her onto a map, right? So currently I'm trying to run some red maps with her, and I think that's as far as I could go. basically tier 9s and 10s in yellow maps are the chilled ones that I don't have to pay too much attention to. In red maps, I need to pay attention, and I probably shouldn't do the ultimatums. So we would... let's just alk and go. I really do not like those rolls too much, but it shouldn't be too bad.
When I'm ready,
So,
and not before.
yeah, for Flap, we need to do this at some point. I'm holding off for now. I will get to that, and that will be just amazing to be reflect immune. But yeah, so what is the whole thing about this build, right? I love self-cast builds. I love hide. That's a staff. I love builds that have a clear vision of what they are supposed to do. And what I envisioned here is having a build that can run maps fairly safe with a skill that I do enjoy very much. So yeah, I'm just a sucker for Freezin Pulse, honestly. I love lightning spells and I love cold spells in almost every single game that you can play with lightning and cold. I at one point will play with lightning and cold. So yeah, this build is just Herald of Ice explosions all over the shop, which is what makes this so absolutely enjoyable to map with, right? It's not the fastest build, it just fits my tempo, and I think that's a very important thing. Not only do you want a build that just can do all the things you want, for me it is important that the build I'm playing also does it at the pace where I'm like, hey, okay, that's good enough for me, right? I'm happy with the results so far, and I think once we will reach level 92 and made some gear upgrades, we will have way more fun with this build than I imagined in the first place. So, would I recommend this for a league start? Probably. I think so, yeah, because cold spells just give you a layer of safety when you're freezing stuff, right? So, and also chilling, right? You reduce the action speed of your enemies, which is in itself a very good defensive layer, right? And once your damage starts to scale up, you will see that if you just cast Freezin Pulse with Spell Echo into a room while your flasks are up, pretty much just one-shot almost all white mobs that come across you. And that just feels extremely satisfying, right? We need to get some crit gear, and we need to get better ES on our gear as well. This 6 link isn't really good, right? Yeah, it's good for the assassin, it's not good for the witch. But as you can see, I mean, that was a tier 12 map, really just running it through, very enjoyable, and I think I will hold on to this staff actually. And maybe craft on that one for a little bit. So this was the chest I wanted to use with my assassin. Thing is, I will not be able to use this on our witch, right? We need a Val Regalia with the spell crit chance, which is a shaping modifier, so we will just get a Val Regalia with Shaper Influence at some point and use that to craft on. Yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. As you saw, the mapping feels extremely safe for the most part. We are using a series promise here to get more life leech. We have good amount of life regen throughout our golem, our stone golem. We can probably take a look at that. Yeah, 383 life per second. That's very, very nice, right? Yeah, so in my path of building setup, I have included like items that are available for like 1 to 5 chaos, if not 6 linked, right? And I would like to take a closer look next league, at league start, what the items actually will cost, so I can price it better. For me, I have invested about, I would say, half an Exalted, so like between 50 and 70 Chaos. If I take into considerations the stuff I bought with the other character and the oils that I needed to get and stuff, and yeah, rolling the flasks. The Atziri's Promise Flask is always really, really cheap. I do have a better one than this one that I'm currently using on the other Elementalist that I'm playing, but that is an experiment in itself. So yeah, this one though is very much fun, and once we get a good Wall Regalia and stuff, we should be able to get a good amount of ES on top of our life pool, and that will make us even more safe, right? So as I said, this is pretty much all league start viable gear. The most expensive thing was the 6 link, and I think that was around 40 chaos at that point, really early in the league. I think around that. So yeah, that's the the most costly thing in this setup. But honestly, this is just stuff that you can find and craft and buy for under 1 Exalted at league start, and I think that's a decent, low enough investment to get you going, right? So as you saw, we were on tier 12. We are actually closing in on Cyrus again, as you can see here. Just need to drop some more maps in Turn's End to be clear, right? And then we can go and challenge Cyrus again. If this character doesn't make it to level 90 or 92 before Cyrus is ready, I think I will do it with another character, but we will have to see about that. I just really wanted to give you a little bit of an update on where the build stands, how it does, and how much fun it was to level this up, and that's all I have to say. So yeah, if you want to have the Path of Building link sooner, please let me know in the comment section down below. I will happily provide you with the theory crafting that I have done, and if you see something that you think like, hey man, you could do this differently, or look at this gear piece, have you thought about that? Please let me know. I'm always open to suggestions, and I love if you guys want to make suggestions, make this build even better. Yeah, I would happily incorporate your changes and your suggestions, right? So that's definitely it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care. Bye.